Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. I know some of my subscribers have been saying, SouFlo, how come you did not cover the passing of a legend like Lee Scratch Perry? We're talking about the. I look at Lee Scratch Perry as someone that was a genius, but was on the crazy side. Like, he was eccentric for sure. And when I say crazy, I don't mean crazy in a disrespectful way. I mean, he was such a force, such a power in earth. He was willing to go above and beyond boundaries. It was as if music spoke through him from another dimension, and he was one of the people who was able to transfer it over into our human understanding, if you get what I'm saying. So it's a high honor when I say kind of crazy. I'm not talking about losing his mind crazy. Now, of course, he dressed weird and all that other stuff, but that's a part of his eccentricness. On top of that, he was many other things, to include a mentor to the great Robert Nesta Marley, or aka Bob Marley. Lee Scratch Perry began his musical career in the 50s at a local reggae music label and went on to perform alongside American hip hop group Beastie Boys. Perry was awarded a Grammy in 2002 and received a national honor, the Order of Distinction, back in Jamaica. So, in that case, he was given his flowers while he was alive. He was recognized as a king in his own country. That is a hell of a feat, right? The Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness sent his deep condolences to Lee Scratch Perry's family, adding that he will always be remembered for his stirring contribution to the music fraternity. His contribution goes beyond just reggae music. This video is not about Lee Scratch Perry's legacy, though. You know, I could go on and talk about when I first discovered Lee Scratch Perry. I was actually 18 years old living in the UK. I was living in London, and I met a runway model, a British runway model named Ginny Mitchell. And Ginny Mitchell was kind of a hippie. And, you know, she introduced me to Lee Scratch Perry, and she introduced me to others as well, like dub poets and etc., etc. Now, to be a Jamaican, to be introduced overseas to the greatness of your own by someone that's not even from or had never been there, that in itself alone was powerful to me. And I took the reins from there, and I started, you know, getting deeper and deeper into his music, who he was, his style of producing, and all that. If Lee Scratch Perry wanted the sound of a pan beating, he would go pick up a pan and beat it with a stick. It wasn't about using fake sounds. He was all into real sounds and all that. Like I said, there was neither here nor there. What I'm concerned about more, though, is the sudden passing of Lee Scratch Perry. No answers have been given yet to his fans and the public about how this man passed. And it's funny because I just watched a video with Lee Scratch Perry not too long ago where he started talking and he was like, I'm 80 something, you know, and fit and strong and feeling good. Yes, man, more life, up, up, up. And I'm like, up, up, up. That's my slogan, right? Feeling his energy. And then he took off running down the beach. And I said to myself, damn, I would have to live a whole nother life over again, plus some, to get to the age that Lee Scratch Perry is now when he took off running down the beach. And I hope that the universe is good to me and that I am good to myself enough to where I, at that age, 80 plus years old, can be so vibrant and so strong and my head is together. Man, listen. And just a short few weeks later, about 2 weeks later after seeing that, the news broke that he is dead. Immediately, what came to my mind was an interview by Supercat from way back when, a couple of years ago, where Supercat spoke about reggae, the industry of reggae music, who controls it. It's a free-for-all, and there are a lot of cowboys in it, people who are not of the culture, who come in and take, and they end up doing the right things with the music legally, like licensing and copyrights and so on. So they end up owning people's portfolios. They end up owning these people's catalogs after they're gone. And we're talking about catalogs that are worth hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars over time. Give you a good example. The great Robert Nesta Marley. Bob Marley's catalog is priceless. His catalog earns millions and millions of US dollars every single year. And it has done so consistently and has been increasing consistently following his passing. So this is actually a way to set a wheel in motion, again like Bob Marley said, set a wheel in motion, that this wheel will continue to roll and build momentum faster and faster and faster. And this wheel will be something that can feed your children, your children's children, your grandchildren's children. Put it this way, anybody that is born of that DNA from that blood lineage and has Marley to their name and is accepted into the family, finances is not supposed to be a part of their problem. You don't hear the Marleys bickering about finances, right? Because of the great gong himself, Bob Marley. And that is the purpose why we come. And I stress for people to work hard, save a lot, pay it forward, so your next generation will be better than the generation before, or even your generation, and eventually you will be seated in a position of power on earth. If you know what life is worth, you would look for yours on earth. But we've been taught to look to the sky. Oh, I don't want anything on earth. My heaven, my riches is in heaven. And then we leave poverty behind for our children. Well, Lee Scratch Perry's catalog is supposed to be one of those catalogs that's worth hundreds of millions, and I would even go as far as to say billions of dollars over time. I remember living in the UK and hearing him on jungle, drum and bass music. And I was like, what the hell is this? Because I've never heard jungle drum and bass before. And it's a vibrant, energetic scene where just bare young people are there. And I thought, wow, this man really is powerful. Of course, I got to know who he was more later on throughout the years. My thing is this. I don't know if there was foul play involved in Lee Scratch Perry's passing, but I do know that things are suspicious. Again, back to dancehall mag, big up on herself. Mariel Perry, the wife of reggae legend Lee Scratch Perry, has absolved medical staff at the Noel Holmes Hospital of any wrongdoing in the Dub Pioneer's death after a cryptic post that she had made that had conspiracy theorists saying all kinds of things. All right, she put a post up, and of course a lot of people were getting at her about the post. Hey, you better take that down, because now people are going to think that we kill off Lee Scratch Perry over here at this hospital. You know, it could be quite a threatening environment, especially if you're not from Jamaica. I mean, she is not Jamaican. She came there through Lee Scratch Perry, and now he is gone. She better have friends on the island. However, the Instagram post on Tuesday, Mrs. Perry wrote, I have no words for what had happened. This is what her post said. I have no words for what had happened. Nobody was expecting something like that because he was not sick. Lee had so many plans that he was looking forward to, so many different projects, shows, art, designs, community. I'm not allowed to give any details for the moment, but I can say that the Lucia Hospital didn't have anything to do with his tragic passing. Anyway, or did they do something wrong? They did not do something wrong is what she is saying. So Lucia Hospital, she is saying, didn't do anything wrong. Right? In the main event though, I'm thinking, did somebody poison him? Did somebody slow poison him? Get in there, because you never know. You just never know. See, the thing about these artists is this. When you build a catalog like that, like Lee Scratch Perry, and a legacy like Lee Scratch Perry's, at some point throughout life, you become more valuable dead than alive. Listen to what I'm saying. Think outside the box, please. Please don't think like a sheep. When you live to a certain age, and you've built a catalog and a legacy like a man like Lee Scratch Perry, at certain point in life, you become more valuable dead than alive. Okay? Bob Marley never got a Grammy his whole life. After Bob Marley died, his legacy passed on. Bob Marley's estate has seen more money since Bob Marley died than any time during his living days. And he never got a Grammy while he was alive, but his children dominate the Grammy section. Not only by singing his songs over, but by singing their own songs, each carrying a hint of Bob Marley's voice. So I'm telling you about the power of this. So in my mind, I'm thinking Lee Scratch Perry was probably at the point where he reached where, he was worth more dead than alive. I know it sounds sad to say, especially the part where his wife talked about how he was getting ready to retire from the entertainment industry. He was getting ready to do his last tour, and he was going to hit up every part of the UK, and he was going to retire back to the island of Jamaica and, set up a utopia there where people from around the world can come there and see him. His own creative space where he does not have to be bothered, where he doesn't live close enough to anyone for anyone to be telling him, hey, stop the music, stop the noise over there, you're making too much noise, etc., etc. Plus he said that Zurich was getting too cold for him, and he was missing the Jamaican sun. He actually needed it, the beach air and the sun in his life, the food, these kind of things, right? Now, the thing about all this is the part where she said he had nothing. That struck me. He had stuff, but he made what he made. He made his living, she said, mainly off of touring. She said the house had been sold and we're going to rebuild it exactly how it was. All his rights were taken away. He don't have no rights to nothing. Meaning, the paperwork, Lee Scratch Perry probably did not understand the legalities of the paperwork, and sometimes even when you understand it, they get lawyers to do things. Just like how the lawyer Masado did to Movado with $30+ million. It's the same way. They get lawyers to falsify documents, do things, and they will take away and strip the artist of his rights. And when that artist realizes that, oh shit, you have all my money, you have all my legacy, you have all my copyrights and everything, you own my masters, I'm going to a lawyer. Time for you to go prematurely. Find him, end up dead. Suddenly Lee Scratch Perry has passed away. No words to explain. I wonder if they're going to blame it on COVID. But remember, he was not sick. Okay? According to the people that were closest to him, he was not sick. There's even one person that's close to him that said, this is strange, because Lee was answering text messages, texting back, all the way up until when I got the news, which was like the day after. So he was texting up until the day off, when they said he died. And he never mentioned anything about being sick. That right there is suspicious as hell to me. And he never mentioned anything about being sick. He was in good spirits and all that. And boom, from one day to the next, he is dead. I know life works in mysterious ways, but I'm telling you that we live in a world where we just never know, because the heart of mankind, when it comes to greed and ownership of other people's wealth, they will go through any kind of lengths to get to it. His wife doesn't want to say it, but I will say it out loud. Very, very suspicious passing. She said that the music and the touring was his income. He had a plan. He didn't want to keep the house, and we wanted someone to make a museum where people are going to build it exactly how he intended for it to be. Now, for those of you who don't know, because I see a lot of people saying, him then married to a white woman, he a sellout and all that. Please don't bring that over to my channel. Please. They were married for over 30 years. Okay, they have children together and all these other things. A woman that served you for over 30 years in life is a woman that is to be respected after you pass. And she should be the beneficiary along with your children of all the things that you accumulated. I'm sure she strengthened him because he always spoke about her, and it was never in a disrespectful term. You understand what I'm saying? She knew her position and she played it well. And big up to her for being that. But I really think that something suspicious happened in Lee Scratch Perry's passing. I will be digging into this more to see what else comes out. Let's see what the autopsy says and what excuse they give us this time. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Rest in peace. Fly high with the ancestors. Great one. You came, you saw, you contributed greatly, and now you are above. Alright? I'll catch y'all later on the next video with SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.